Let's go to the press box for some questions. Go ahead, press box.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. Congratulations, guys. Sorry I'm not down there. Joe, have you talked to Barney yet? And I want to know what his feeling is because, you know, so many times it was like, okay, we're going to cut back to this and then we're going to go back up. And just, you know, the fact that he believed in all you guys and kept supporting the team and got to the point where you were full-time. And for Pete, what kind of vindication is this for the guy that was known as Dale Jr.'s other crew chief?
Well, I'll go first. Thanks, Lee. I did talk to Barney, and kind of just a quick funny story on that last call when we decided to stay out. I sent a quick text to him because normally he's with us, and this was just a disclaimer for Pete. And I asked him what he would do, and he said, "Stay out." So I figured if it went bad, I could always say, "Well, it was Barney's decision." So Pete was covered. This is just a big deal for Barney. He, not just Barney, but Furniture Row Companies, which consist of Denver Mattress and Sofa Mart, Bedroom Expressions, and Oak Express, for standing behind the team. It's been a long road, and everybody in here knows how tough this sport is at this level, at the Cup level. So they've gone over the highs and the lows, and just stuck behind us. And just like Regan was saying about what we've done with him. Our owner, Barney, has done with us. So this is just a great time for him, and really excited for him and the whole company.
Lee, I don't see any. I don't have any vindication from that few years back. I guess a lot of things go around, some come around, and this just came around, and I'm Regan Smith's crew chief now, so that part is gone by.
Stay upstairs in the press box. Go ahead.
Regan, this is Thomas Pope from the Fayetteville Observer. Congratulations first. Where would you have put Darlington on the list of places where you thought you would get your first win? I mean, was it near the top, near the bottom, somewhere in the middle?
Well, of places where I would like to get my first win, it would be near the top, probably in the top 2 or 3 for sure. Of places where I thought I would get my first win, it was probably at the bottom because this is it's such a tough racetrack. And you know, we talked before the race, and we had a game plan, and the game plan was to just keep the right side clean. You know, if it meant racing at 80% until the end of the race, the last 25, 50 laps, whatever it was, that's what we needed to do, and it worked. You know, I kept the right side clean all night long. I kept coming up on cars, and I'd look at them, and I'd see that the right side was tore up, and I thought, well, that's one that we should be able to get. And I'd come up on another one, his right side. The only one that went past me that his right side was absolutely obliterated was Kyle Busch, and that's normal for Kyle Busch at this racetrack. So you know, he's something else. But it's you know, it's a very special. Any win's special. This one is even more special, and you know, to get the first one here, I think they were giving me the stats on the ride over here. They said there's only been 6 first-time winners here, and the last one I think was 88 or something like that, Lake Speed. So it, you know, it's certainly a big deal, and I, you know, it's like I said earlier, walk out to the car believing you're going to win the race every week. But sometimes you think, well, if we get a top 10, that'll be okay too. We just need to survive. And this is kind of one of those races that you think, well, you know, I think we're capable of winning, but let's survive. And we survived, and we won.
Any other questions from the press box?
Yes. Monty Dutton, Gaston Gazette. Regan, this, I was damn worried I wasn't going to get that one.
You got it right, too. That's good.
I was, the research is several years old, but suffice it to say that I think it's still valid. Darlington is far beyond any other track in terms of the exclusivity of its winners. About the only drivers who have ever won here and not won a number of other races are Larry Frank in '62 and Lake Speed in '88. And so just from driving this track, I'm sure you understand the difficulty of it, but the difficulty of it spans the years and the history of the sport as well. And I just wondered if you'd had a chance to think much about that.
Well, I certainly thought about it. You know, I thought about it when I was standing in Victory Lane and reading the trophy, and you know, Pete and I were both, all of us were sitting there and we were looking at the trophy and just thinking, man, this is special. And I think the next step for us as a team is going to be to get that second win. And obviously now we've gotten the taste of how good this feels, and you don't ever want to lose that taste. So the next step is going to be to get the second win and keep working hard. And I certainly don't want to go anywhere near the list of guys that this is their only win. So we're gonna work just as hard to get the next one as we have to get this one, and see where that takes us.
Any other questions in the press box?
Hey, I got a question for you guys. Anybody know if the Charlotte Checkers won tonight, by chance? They did? All right. I get to go watch some more playoff hockey then. Cool.
I think we've got another question. Go ahead. Do we?
Regan Smith, sorry, Lee Spencer, are you still working with Josh at all? I know he's back at school, but have you guys been in contact? Have you talked to Josh yet?
I haven't talked to him yet. I'm sure I haven't gotten to my phone yet, to be honest with you. So I'm sure there's a lot of text messages I'm going to have to reply to and calls that I have to make back. But I'm sure Josh is one of them. I talked to him Friday morning. Every Friday morning before I go on the racetrack, we look over data and talk to him. And he's certainly been a big help to me from the standpoint of showing me some stuff that I can do to help out the guys when I'm giving them feedback and information. And it's something that we did last year, and it worked last year at the end of the year, and we said let's stick with it and keep doing it this year. And I think it's worked. There's been a lot of times we'll pull out the data sheets and look at stuff, and I'll say, hey, right there, at that point, that's where the car's doing something, and it helps Pete and Cole to make the decisions that they need to make on the race car and do the right things. So I'm sure I'll be talking to him later tonight at some point.
Let's come back downstairs. We got Mike Neff, Jerry, and Jim Utter.
Mike Neff, FrenchStretch.com. A quick one, and then maybe a little more involved one. Regan, on the last restart, Brad Keselowski said he was pushing you from behind when the green dropped. Did that help your tires hook up as well to get you out in front of Carl? And secondly, it seemed like almost the entire night you were pretty well away from the wall going through 3 and 4. Did you specifically set your car up to keep it away from that wall so you didn't end up with the right side being torn up like Kyle's?
We did. Generally, not just Kyle. I wasn't pointing him out. I've watched him race here and win here with the right side almost torn off the thing, and I think it's incredible that he does that. So I wasn't saying that in a bad way. But Brad did give me a shove. It's probably 3/4 of the way down the front straightaway, and it was just enough of a boost to get me that next little step past Carl to where I could clear him and run my line through 1 and 2. If I couldn't have run my line through 1 and 2, I don't think we would have been able to win the thing, because he would have had the momentum on the outside and the tires, and it would have been tricky. So Brad certainly helped me right there, and he was he kind of preoccupied Carl for that corner, and it gave me those 2 car lengths to stretch it out. And he's a guy that's had his first win. He knows how special it feels, and he's won a lot of nationwide races too. But he's had that first Cup win, and you can't. You really can't describe it. I didn't know how to do the burnouts. I just started cranking front brake to it. I said, well, I heard that you're supposed to crank a lot of front brake to it. I hope they looked okay, because I was afraid that they looked terrible on TV. But and then turned around and wanted to salute the fans, because they're why we do this.
Go ahead, Jerry, and then Jim.
Pete. Jerry Jordan with the Examiner newspaper. On the last restart there, you kind of walked him through on the radio those last 2 laps. Were you as nervous as he was, or what were you thinking, giving him his pointers going around the track?
No, I didn't. I wasn't too nervous with him doing it. I mean, generally you get a guy with the drive and the desire to do this. They get to the front. They're at the front, and even if they can just sniff the front, they're gonna drive the wheels off it, and obviously you could see that. I didn't see what he did on the backstretch until just while I was in victory lane. They showed me the tape of him coming off turn 2 back there sideways and jacked out of shape, but he never checked up. So it was probably
good you didn't see that.
Yeah, I guess it was probably good. But no, I don't. I didn't get nervous about it. Regan knows. He knows what he's doing there, and we just let him do his thing.
Go ahead, Jim.
Jim Uttershaw, Observer for Joe. There's a lot of people who can celebrate with this victory. You guys have a pit crew from Stuart Haas Racing. You have chassis from Richard Childress. You have ECR engines. Is there a better example of what probably true teamwork than this victory tonight? And would you say that this would classify as that a point that the little guy can still win?
Well, I think it does classify that, and it is a part of the structure for how the little guy does business in Cup. It's you need partners, and you need to have those relationships, not just in place, but they have to be good relationships. And we have I can't even express how good our relationship is with RCR, how well they work with us, the information flow between us. It's second to none. And Stuart Haas, this is new for us this year with them, and I can tell you the pit stops were rocky in the beginning, and they have just flat gone to work with Pete and the guys. Bobby Hutchins is over there all the time, just sweating bullets when the stops aren't good, and it is good. I mean, racing. You remember when we used to race and we ran late models on Saturday nights, and somebody break, and there'd always be all the other guys over there trying to help you, and then if you went and beat him, you're probably in a fist fight afterwards, and that's kind of what it's like. For us, it's pretty cool to have that kind of support from other racing teams.